The Growing Club came about. I was a small business owner myself and a single mom, and I was really frustrated by the lack of support for women running small businesses. And we wanted to look at addressing that gap.
Esta comarca durante los últimos años ha sufrido una creciente despoblación. Esta despoblación ha llevado a un gran abandono de tierra agrícola. Esta necesidad de implantación de una nueva iniciativa de reconversión de tierras agrícolas que suponga un beneficio económico, social y medioambiental.
Jeg har selv innvandrerbakgrunn og ble kjent med friluftslivet gjennom min deltagelse i den norske turistforeningen. Og dette inspirerte meg for å starte et prosjekt i den norske turistforeningen. Jeg jobber nå med integrering i friluftsliv i DNT.
Le Siapovac est créé en 1993 pour la relance de la vanille.
À travers le projet Valable, pour moi, l'innovation sociale, c'est comment est-ce qu'on va s'organiser avec les producteurs qui se posent une question et qui nous posent une question, qui est de comment faire produire la forêt tout en respectant la forêt.
We have supported a group of women that have already established their own cooperative through external support. These women have focused on learning how to establish a cooperative, on developing their own technical skills.
SIPARTE is a social innovation action focused on supporting youth entrepreneurship in sectors other than manufacturing. SIPARTE's objectives were to create new local networks, to sustain new business ideas, and to financially support a new startup.
I work as a social researcher in Solsona, and the project I'm going to talk about, it's called Bosco Salud, which is using the outdoors and the forest to improve people's well-being.
Even a social innovation faces challenges along the way, and the main issue that is being faced is finding sustainable funding over a long period of time. That, combined with lack of policy support specifically for women from socially disadvantaged backgrounds, training them, getting them into entrepreneurship, is also probably one of the biggest challenges that is being faced.
One of the main issues was the involvement of people in the initiative, but as well as the fact that the majority of the lands which were given to the initiative were not that productive. Also, the lack of time was one of the issues which was mentioned by the local actor.
We found it hard to cooperate between public and private sector. We also did not find or were able to engage local enthusiasts, whether it be refugees or volunteers.
We had two main challenges. The very first one was to work on decreasing their production costs through introducing new alternative uses of energy. And the second one is to increase their income generation through increasing their market outreach.
We learned that reaching youth is difficult. They have different ways of communicating. But social development is very important for our rural areas, but we can't forget about economic development.
And the first thing, or the first challenge, was how I engage with local people. I tried to engage with the local hospital, and also the local hospital bring into the project the schools, which I thought it was a good idea. It was not the original plan, but in this kind of projects you have to adapt.
So some of the best highlights that we've experienced during observing our social innovation is seeing how the women have come together and how they're truly thriving, how they are growing in confidence and continue to support each other as groups graduate over the years.
The key thing is that I have really learned that women do want a safe place to learn. It's really important for them. They've been really clear about it, that they want a space where they can meet as women and learn from each other, and that really accelerates their growth.
Aquí hace falta asesoramiento, apoyo e incluso inversión por parte de los ayuntamientos. Somos pocos y si los pocos que somos no nos unimos, no vamos a conseguir nada.
These messages sum up what is needed to do in order to not dry out all the effort put forward by the local actor in these years. First of all, stronger partnerships are needed across local actors in order to improve coordinations of the actions that are developed in the county. Second, a stronger political support is key for the future success of this initiative and for it to become resilient and long-lasting in time.
We need to a larger degree involve local enthusiasts, volunteers and refugees. This means that we need to create a stronger bond between the different actors and also be more local in who we engage.
Ce type d'innovation implique une co-construction, des acteurs impliqués, une vision partagée des enjeux, des acteurs motivés, prêts à négocier sur les objectifs.
My take-home messages: yes, we don't need to help these women move out of their comfort zone. We need to engage them in all the process from the very beginning, especially at the decision making.
Some of our recommendations for the future are to improve communication with youth and co-develop the process with youth groups, provide continuity in support through a network of interested actors, to develop a hub, a training hub that could include a team of multidisciplinary experts.
And finally, my last remark maybe will be like this kind of innovation actions, because they are new. Sometimes it's difficult to fit them into rural development plans or into strategic planning that can really give this support to make that integrated into the organization.
Our recommendations center around two main kind of central concepts. We've got the concept of monitoring, and then we've got the concept of matching. Monitoring was essential for social innovations. Now, obviously that does include monitoring for compliance and reporting purposes, but we also took monitoring to be more broadly about self-assessment, self-evaluation and reflection. So matching is this other key concept. So we're talking about matching actors, matching benefits with needs or demands, matching expertise with knowledge demands and questions, matching initiatives with their context. All of these are things that need to be matched. And the last thing I want to mention is the relationship between monitoring and matching. Monitoring helps you understand your initiative and your context better, which should allow you to identify how you can match things better. And thinking about what you want to match encourages you to think about what you should be monitoring.
Some of the further suggestions that we have from our experience working with the innovation actors was to really think about refining our policies a little bit more and focusing them more on what exactly is needed. And it's really important to focus on developing collaborative tools. And what we mean by that is for it to be constantly monitoring and going back and forth to what your original idea and plan was, what your original values were, and to constantly bring in your team, but then to also constantly put it back into the community to get feedback and feed that into the process as it goes along, which focuses even more on the idea of organic growth rather than pushing towards a change or development in an area where it's naturally not progressing to that way.
We have two recommendations which link into each other. We could have an expert project animation coming in at some point to kind of help you move on with your project, help you out with basic tasks such as writing minutes, networking, communication, that kind of thing, or a rural technical advisor, which would be supported publicly and which already exists in Italy, which I think we have in France too, in chambers of agriculture, but to try and generalize that to come in and provide support on technical aspects when needed.